So whatever activities that you decide to do to make the activation happen, okay? Unless you track these activities on a daily basis, after a few days or after a few weeks, you will slowly lose focus on what activities you should be doing regularly. See, like for example, all of you who came for the last training, we did in October, okay? After the training, you started doing a lot of different activities, right? Yes or no? Some of you did it for 1 week. After that, then slowly you went back to your old way of doing. Some of you did it for 3 weeks, some of you did it for 1 month. I think maybe 1 or 2 of you still are doing some activities that you started 4 months ago. For most of the other people, you had the motivation and the intention to do it at the event and you started, but after 1 week, it did not continue. Yes or no? No, the people who came last time can answer yes or no. Yes. How many of you started and stopped? Okay. So, why does that happen? Because when you are sitting here, there's nothing else for you to do. You are completely focused on this, what we are discussing, right? You are 100% focused here, or at least 90% focused here. But when you go back from tomorrow onwards, then life happens. You get busy with things. You get busy with business activities, and in your business, many other things also happen, not only 7-day activation. There are many other things that happen for you in the business. And when things happen, then you start addressing those things, and then slowly the new things that you started does not continue. Okay? And that is what happens with most people. Life gets in the way. When you, from tomorrow onwards, sometimes things happen urgently. Urgent things happen. Alright? And that is a reason why you decide on things, and then after a few days, the things that you decide on doesn't happen. Okay? So, unsuccessful people, their daily life, more than 90% of their daily life activities are responding to urgent things. Oh, suddenly this happens, suddenly that happens, suddenly this. And then, my car tire got punctured, and now I have to go pick up my children. Now suddenly, so 90% of their day-to-day activities are responding to emergencies for unsuccessful people. Alright? And on the other hand, if you look at extremely successful people, at least 70% of their activities are planned and decided that this is what I'm going to do. And maybe 10% or 20% are responding to emergencies and random things that happen. But at least 70% of their day-to-day things are what they plan for. And they make that happen, they give that a priority. Alright? So, everybody is living in this world. Successful, unsuccessful, rich, poor, everybody is living in this world. And for everyone, life happens. But some people, their whole day, every day is decided by things what happens in their life. So they are never able to give a direction to their life. See, when you respond to things that happen to you, then what gives you direction? You or the things that happen? The things that happen. They are always random things, right? So, emergencies happen every time, and the emergencies are all different kinds of emergencies. Emergency does not mean it is important. Important is different from emergency. Right? But when that happens, you think that is important. When the emergency happens, at that time you think it is important. Alright? But think about the emergency that happened 3 weeks ago. What was the emergency that happened 3 weeks ago? You don't even remember. But there was some emergency 3 weeks ago for you. You planned on doing something and suddenly something happened and you could not do it. But if you don't remember what happened 3 weeks ago, then how important can that be? Whatever the emergency was. If you don't remember it today, can that be very important? But when that happened at that time, for you that was important because you left everything and you were focusing on that. So what is tomorrow? There will be some emergency. Okay? But after 3 weeks, you won't even remember what the emergency was that happened tomorrow. So emergencies happen for everyone. You can either be controlled by those emergencies that happen in your life, or you can give direction to your life. Alright? So, if you want to give direction to your life, you cannot only operate from your memory. You have to write and plan things. You have to track at the end of the day, okay, these are the things I planned for, what did I do, what did I not do. And when you start planning like that, the first day, you might not even do 90% of the things. And that is okay. But people with limited belief, what they do is, oh, this method doesn't work, I couldn't do 90% of the things. So what is the point? The point is, at the end of the day, you realize that I did not do 90% of the things. But if you're not tracking, how do you realize that? If you don't have a checklist, if you don't have a plan, and at the end of the day, if you're not checking yourself with the decisions you made, that okay, this is what I'm going to do, if you don't do that, then how will you know whether you did 90% of the things or you did not do 90% of the things? You won't know. You understand? You understand or is it? Yes. Okay. So the first day you say, okay, I did not do 90% of the things. The second day you said, again, 90% of the things did not happen. Third day, 90% of the things did not happen. Fourth day, slowly you will see that, oh, today I did 80 or 20% of the things. So 80% of the things did not happen. After 1 month, 2 months, you did 30% of the things. 70 maybe did not happen. But this method of constant reminder many times during the day is important to help you stay on track. Constant reminder many times during the day, not just one time. So every 2-3 hours you should have the habit of checking your plan for the day. Okay? That is, if you want you to be the person who was deciding how your day should go. But if you want things around you to decide, then no need. That's how life has been for you for so long. Anyway. But then what happens is you come for trainings, you get good information, you get motivated, you decide that okay, from today I'm going to do these things. And that decision will last for maybe 2 days for some of you, maybe 3 days for some of you, maybe 1 week for majority of you, and maybe 1 or 2 people will actually make that a lifelong habit. Maybe 1%. Alright? Now all of you sitting here, this is not your first training, right? You have come for many trainings before. Has that happened? During the training you make a decision, oh, this is very important. I have to do this every day. Now when you make the decision, it is a very sincere decision, is it not? You're not making a decision thinking that no, I will do for 2 days, after that I won't do. No. You make the decision saying, no, this is important, I will do this every day. And if I do this every day, oh, I will be so successful. And the every day is there for 2 days. Alright? So, see, you need to understand that your mind, your brain has been programmed to function in a particular way for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Now just because you came into the business, all of a sudden everything is not going to change. So you got to help your brain to change also. Alright? You got to help your brain to change. So you need to give that reminder, constant reminder. You forgetting is not laziness. Sometimes you forget. Like I said, things happen, emergencies happen, and you have got into the habit of reacting to emergencies that happen around you. You're programmed for that. For how many years? How many years did you have that programming on? Since birth. Right? So now if you want to change that programming, it is not going to happen overnight. So you got to help your brain to change. So having some kind of a checklist for your daily activities is very, very important. Okay? So identify the activities you have to do on a daily basis, on a regular basis. Some of those activities can be daily, some of those activities can be once in 2 days, some of those activities can be once in 3 days also. But you should have a list of these activities, and then you should at least once or twice or maybe at least 3 times a day you should look at this list and check whether you did not do or whatever. And then last thing in the night, and then the first thing in the morning the next day. And when you keep doing this for a few months, then your brain now is changed. Then you can even operate without the list. But till that time, you need the list. See, it is like learning how to ride a bicycle. Some of you needed the training wheels. The small 2 training wheels. But how long did you need the training wheel? Do you use the training wheel even today? No. So you needed the training wheel till you learned how to ride a bicycle without the training wheel. After that you don't need it. But till you learn, you need that. You need the training wheel, or else you need somebody to hold the bicycle before, preventing it from falling down. So, you're also training your brain to do all these things which you have never done. Alright, you never had the successful habits, you never had this way of thinking and all that stuff. And thinking that, okay, I heard all these things and automatically now from today onwards I will be able to do things differently is foolishness. It is not going to happen. You need to give help to your brain. Okay? Give it a set of training wheels for the next few months so that you can make that change. You can learn how to function in that effective way. And having a very good checklist is very important. Okay? So, all the activities that you should be doing, okay, whatever you have decided, I'm not saying all these activities, but whatever you have decided, all right? Now, almost all these activities are important ones, but not all of them are required for 7-day activation. Okay? Not all of them are required for 7-day activation, but all of them are important. So, some of these activities the new BA can undergo even after they do the activation. You understand? You don't understand? Okay. So, for example, watching DVDs and reading books. Important or not important? Very important. But maybe not so important for a 7-day activation. So, they should still do it, but maybe not required during the first 7 days. But after that, they should have that in their list of things to do. So, your involvement with the new IR and their or new BA and their activities, what they should be doing, does not end with activation. It is not like you work you work with a new BA every day till the activation is done. After the activation is done, you keep the person away and then find another new BA and then work very hard every day till the 7-day activation is done. After the activation is done, keep the next person. Then you will not be able to retain people. Okay, that's not the way to do it. So, you work with a person, the 7-day activation done. Okay, put the person in a different training program, in a different path. These are the things you do. So now with that person, you don't need to meet every day, but at least once in a few days, you need to touch base with the person and find out what's going on. Or somebody else in your team should take over this person. Okay? You understand?
Yes.
When you don't do that, that is when after 2-3 weeks, this person will think, oh, anyway, my people, this guy is taking care, so I don't need to do anything. So then they don't do anything after that. So the path of improving their mindset and their abilities does not end with 7-day activation. That is just getting them started in the right speed and in the right direction. But just getting them started and then leaving them and forgetting about them is not helpful. It's not useful. So 7-day activation is just the first step, but a very important first step. You point them towards the right direction. You help them achieve that very important milestone. It gives them a lot of belief and all that stuff. All right, but after that, if you don't take care of them and just keep them on the side and then work with the next person and then the next person, then the benefit of starting in the right direction is lost. You understand? You put so much effort to get a person started in the right direction with the right attitude and all that, but then after that, if you're not continuing that change in that person, then you're losing that person. Then the effort you put in is lost. Alright? So, you need to have a checklist. You need to have a tracking sheet where you can track your activities. And you can separate them, daily activities, once in 3 days activities, once a week activities. But if you want to become a big leader and have a big team, then you will not be able to reach that level without having a tracking sheet. Because it's very difficult for us to keep this in our mind. You know how many things you can keep in your mind at the same time? How many? No, you can keep more than one. 2 or 3. At the same time, in your mind, you can maybe 2 or 3, but not more than that. But for you to effectively function as a working upline, how many things do you have to do on a regular basis? 1 or 2 only? No, many. Maybe 10-15 things you have to keep track of. So how are you going to do that if you don't have a tracking sheet? So all of you on an individual level should have your tracking sheet. And the most important thing is, every 2-3 hours in a day you should check this tracking sheet. Not only in the morning and at night. That's another mistake what a lot of people do. They make the sheet and everything. Spend so much time, design the sheet, give good boundaries, put color, draw their face, everything done. After that, they don't check. Maybe check only once a day. So you have to check at least 3, 4, 5 times every day. Okay? So, the method to make sure that you are doing these activities on a regular basis is, 1, by making sure you have a tracking sheet. That is 1. Okay. Second, and this is very important, you should have somebody that will hold you accountable. You should have someone, at least one person, minimum one person, who will hold you accountable for those activities. So all of you who started different activities after you came into a training, okay? Last training or any training that you went to in your life, that you decided, okay, from today I'm going to do these activities. And then after a week or 2 weeks, you lost. All of you, there's one thing in common. You did not have anyone holding you accountable for those activities on a daily basis. Yes or no? So when you don't have somebody holding you accountable on a daily basis, what happens? What happens? Huh? You're sleeping with your eyes open or? So what happens if you don't have somebody holding you accountable? Huh? So if somebody is not holding you accountable every day to some activities, what happens? You don't understand my question. Slowly you will stop doing those activities. That's what happens. Okay? So, all the activities that you are deciding to do on a regular basis, you need to have someone that will hold you accountable every day. And without that, these habits will not stick. Okay, you can have a tracking sheet and all that, that is great. But you need a person that will hold you accountable. All right? Now, this is one area where a lot of people find it difficult. I don't need a person. I am self-motivated. I can remind myself, this is important for me, so I will do it. I don't need anyone else. And that is not you, that is your ego speaking. Okay? So, everyone needs somebody else to remind them. Everyone. It doesn't matter how senior you are, or how junior you are, or how successful you are. You are deciding to do something which you have not been doing until now. And if you want to do this on a regular basis and on an effective way, you need someone personally holding you responsible. So you got to identify this person also. Okay? So, how many of you are going to be activation machines? Oh. So, how many people are you going to activate this week? This is which week? Week number 11. So, week number 11, how many people are you going to activate? 1. Okay? So, you're going to activate one person. Alright, so you identified your mindset, you identified your skills that you need to work on, you identified your activities, make a checklist or tracking sheet, identify the person who will hold you accountable on a daily basis, whether it's through phone call or your WhatsApp or whatever it is. They got to check with you every day as to, whether you did what you said you're going to do or not. And if you did not do, just tell them, I did not do these things, but these things I did. It's okay to not do. That's fine. Alright, that's not the problem. The problem is when you don't have something reminding you that you have not done, then you will permanently not do it. But if you have somebody reminding you every day through a tracking sheet and through in person, then you might not do it 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, maybe 10 days, but the 11th day you will do it. You understand? But the problem with most of us is that when we don't do it the first day or the second day, or we think it's never going to happen, so forget it. And that's our habit, isn't it? We fail once or twice, we think that this is never going to happen. So we say, okay, this doesn't work. So the reason of having a tracking sheet and a person is that not for you to become perfect from day one, but keep the momentum going in the right direction. So you might have 10 things in your tracking sheet. Maybe you'll do only 1 or 2 or 3 the first day. And you might tell whoever is holding you accountable, you tell, I did only these 3 things, these things I did not do. Okay? Then the next day, the next day, the next day. After a week, you might realize, okay, I'm doing 4 or 5 of these things. Okay? So, week number 11, all of you will activate 1%. Alright? Very good. How do I know? How will I know? Okay, maybe I'll check with Suraj and Pubudu and Buddhi and Sagara and Nuwan and everyone. Vasanta, I'll check with all of them individually. I have taken your names. Alright, so I have all your names. I know your tracking sender number. So, now you made the mistake of coming to this training.
So I know your name, I know your IR number, your BA number. So whoever does not activate 1% in this week, week number 12, you open up your virtual office, suspended. Now you're thinking, why did I come for this training? Okay, so I wish you all the best. All right, until I see you next time. But I believe that a lot of you will become activation machines, and your business and your team will take a totally new direction from today onwards. This is a very simple business, nothing complicated. You just have to make sure that you're doing the right things, all right, at the right time. And it's very important to put in the right amount of effort at the right time. See, the reason why all of us are broke is because we have a belief that let me try and do the minimum possible to get the result. That's how we have been thinking from beginning, right? You know, just whatever to get the result, let me just do the minimum. To get the mark, let me do the minimum studies. To get my salary, let me do my minimum work. So what is the minimum I can do to get the results? That's the thinking, and that is the reason why we are broke. See, the problem with thinking like that is you don't know what the minimum is. See, the minimum you might think is enough might not be enough to get the result. So then what do? So you're doing a little bit, you're doing the minimum, right? Saying, oh yeah, this much activity maybe is enough for me to get that result. So what if that is not enough? You don't get the results, correct? So after some time, then you realize, oh my God, I think I have to do a little bit more. Right? So you then say, okay, I'll do a little bit more. Then maybe that little bit more is also not enough. Then after 1 month, you realize, oh, maybe this much also not enough. I have to go do more. Then you complain, you do all this, but then because you still want to achieve the success, you're doing a little bit more. So now in doing this little bit more, you're wasting 1 year. 1 year already finished. So what is the best way to do? Do the maximum right from the beginning. What are you holding back for? It's effort. There's nothing else. You're not giving your heart away or kidney away. It's only effort. And we all have been blessed with the ability to put in effort from the time we were born. That's inside us. So just give maximum of what the universe has already given you. It's given you the ability to put the effort for free. So you've gotten something free, why you're not giving it? So do the maximum right from the beginning. So when you do the maximum, maybe you will do more than what is required. That is your only mistake you might do, but that is not a mistake. If you do more than what is needed, what will happen? What will happen? You get the results anyway. Isn't it? So do more. Do more every day. Do more right from the beginning. Alright? And when you are in the path to achieve this level of success, this is not small success you're after. This is a huge success. Alright? When you are in a path to achieve this kind of success, don't expect a balanced life. Don't expect that. That is stupidity. Balance life. I will do little bit business. I need little bit of family time. I need little bit of TV time. I need little bit of alone time. Then I need little bit of sleeping time. So you have this balance. And if you try that, you will be very balancedly broke. That is the only thing that will happen. Your broke will be very balanced. There is no successful person in the world who is balanced. So you got to decide what your priorities are in life. Alright? And you got to give 100% to those priorities. And once you achieve the success, it is yours forever. Alright? So you don't take 5 years and 10 years to max out. Alright? Max out in 2 years or 3 years. Don't take more than that. That's stupidity. Alright? And don't look for balanced life. Do maximum right from the beginning. It is not going to be balanced. So you got to tell your family, whoever it is, you got to tell them that the next few years, this is what I need to do. You need to get their support. If you don't get their support, it's very difficult for you to put your 100%. Alright? So, when I started, I was not married. So it was easier for me to put in 100% at the beginning. But I got married within 2 years of starting the business. I did not go for honeymoon. Not because I could not afford, but because I don't have the time. And during my 3rd year in the business, it was very important for me to focus on what I was doing. I could not take that break of 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever. Alright? Now my wife till today complains of that. But then I'm able to take her every other month wherever we want to go today. When my first child was born, I was not there. The first time I saw my first child was after 3 months she was born. And she was born after I was 4 years in the business. Not the first year, not the second year. But that time was important for being in the business. And when I see a lot of people today who unfortunately, say, oh, balanced life, I need this time, I need that time, I need this. And they're driving a Toyota, making one check every month. I feel sad. I think they're stupid. Because the opportunity what you have, it is a blessing. If you don't realize the value of the opportunity that you have today, it will be taken from you. If you don't respect the value of the opportunity you got, you will lose it. And I've seen hundreds of people lose it. People take it for granted. See, did you get this opportunity because of your effort? Did you get this because you were something special? No, you just happened to get it. Okay, you paid your money to start the business, that is a different thing, but how did this business come to you? Was it any of your effort? No, it was a blessing, that's it. I got this opportunity. I don't know how I got it. I just happened to, have a friend who started the business. He came to me. He showed me, I started. Even today, after 19 years, I still think sometimes, if that friend had not called me, what did I happen to my life? Now, some of you got this opportunity, but you are, it's there, but, we'll do a little bit here, a little bit there, and then, you make one check a month, you think you're already financially free. You make 2 checks a month, you think you're already eagle, no need to do anything anymore, just spread your wings and glide. And when you glide, you realize you're not 100 feet away, you're just 4 feet away, and then you just fall flat on the ground. All right, so I just hope that you have the courage to pay the price. Okay, not everybody can do it, I know, but not everybody also deserve $1 million a year. All right, so if you deserve, better get the courage to pay the price. Otherwise, don't complain. Don't complain of not having this, not having that, oh, I don't have the money, I don't have this, and all that stuff. Don't complain. Be broke in a balanced way. Right? Do you understand what I'm saying? So you got to do things that are not convenient every day for you. And pay some big prices. Alright? Pay some big price. Broke people give importance to entertainment. You realize that? Have you realized that? Broke people give a lot of importance to entertainment. My TV time, my friends' time, my this time, that time, and all that. Well, when you start making $1 million a year, your entertainment will be totally different level. So, how many of you are going to max out? Yeah, I asked this question before also. All of you put your hand up, and then after 2 weeks you don't even send the weekly messages or daily messages. So I hope this time it's going to be different for you. Yes or no? Yes. You sure? Yes. All right. So I really hope and wish you all the success. And I will look forward for your this week's activation. Okay? I know your name, I know your IR number. If you don't do activation this week, next week don't log into your virtual office, it will be suspended. Yes or no? Okay or no? Okay. Are you giving me the permission? Yeah. Okay, let me record it, okay? So I can send to the company. Alright, good night. Wish you all the best.